This is a little different. Hello, and welcome back to another Severance review, this one being a little shorter, just like the episode itself. Sweet Vitriol, the 8th episode of Season 2, released today, and unfortunately, while I can't say I disliked the episode, it did not give me a whole lot to talk about. This episode revolves entirely around the character of Miss Cobell, featuring no other regulars besides the voices of Devin and Mark. Therefore, there's not a lot of ground to cover. Still, Cobell's return home comes with a lot of revelations about the past of Lumen and a deeper insight into her character. Plus, I can't miss a Patricia Arquette-centric episode. She is the best. Spoilers ahead. The first section of the episode follows Cobell's interactions with a former friend of hers, a man named Hampton. We learn here that she and him were each workers at Lumen since they were children, creating a bond of shared trauma. Plus, this explains Cobell's serious dedication to the religion of Kier despite holding a distaste for the current state of Lumen. As Ragabi said in the previous episode, she was raised by them, and when you are raised to believe in a religion, it's hard to disassociate from it. Hampton seems to have had an easier time getting past it, probably because he was not as successful as Harmony, who excelled and was given great focus by the Egan family. Hampton was able to slip out the door without anyone noticing, and has since become a Lumen detractor. Though he and Harmony seem to have a romantic past, in their first real scene together, he absolutely cuts into her. He insults her for everything Lumen has done to destroy his home life, adding to the political side of the company. I like this because it puts a serious strain on Harmony's devotion to Lumen. She can still practice her religion without them, and knowing how much pain they caused her loved ones, it's going to be hard to stay on their side. In the next section, we meet Sissy, the absolutely devilish aunt of Cobell. Jane Alexander is definitely giving the best performance here outside of Arquette herself, leaning into the creepy cultish vibe by reawakening some familial trauma surrounding her sister, Harmony's mother, and continuing to infantilize her niece, berating and insulting her. I cannot say that Harmony is a good person, but I think we can definitely say that her mental instability stems from this extremely dysfunctional home life. I wouldn't be surprised if she suffered mental abuse at the hands of Sissy, who continues to downplay her intelligence. It is here that we learn the insane twist that it was Harmony herself that created the Severance procedure, something we never knew, and something I never really expected to know. Harmony then takes her research and supposedly plans to expose herself as the true creator to invalidate the claims of Jaime Egan. When you beat a sick dog too long, it's likely to show its fangs, and this is exactly what Cobell is doing here. Personally, I think flashbacks may have actually helped this episode to tell its story in a clearer fashion, though that may have made it too similar to Episode 7. To put it simply, it's hard to imagine Cobell as a sort of calm and brainy whiz kid, considering how unhinged she has become, and being able to see how she grew up may have succeeded in making this feel more real. I do like this twist quite a bit, though, since it reveals a major hole in Lumen's plan. Helena seems to have underestimated Cobell, telling her that her contributions were less than she believed, even though this is blatantly untrue. I would guess that this is where we start to see Cobell go on a quest to tear this company to the ground. To end the episode, Harmony is called by Devin, who is able to organize an allyship, and then the episode abruptly ends, which is really the main problem here. I am excited to see this alliance exist, but the briefness of this episode kinda makes it fall flat. If you are going to focus entirely on one character for an episode, you have to justify doing that, and really this felt more like an interlude than an episode. We certainly learn a lot about Cobell here, and Patricia Arquette containing her rage instead of blowing the hinges off with fury is a welcome change. I think it is simply that the writers, Adam County and K.C. Perry, failed to account for how few characters they would be working with. We really only meet Hampton and Sissy, and though they each function as an example of what Lumen can make someone into, the world of the episode still feels a little empty. Maybe that's the point, to make it seem desolate and abandoned. But still, that just results in fairly messy pacing. Sweet Vitriol feels like the part 1 to a two-parter, and yet there is no twin. It's an enjoyable intermission, but an unfinished one. I'm gonna give this episode a solid 7 out of 10. I may have ragged on it quite a bit in that last section, but I still feel like defending it, because it's getting some hate from the fanbase when it's really not all bad. To put it simply, the episode is underwhelming. However, it still looks fantastic, using yet another icy landscape to film on. It still has great performances all around, even if there are less performances in general. And it still throws a lot of surprises your way. I could not for the life of me say what is going to happen in episode 9, because the series can truly hit you with a horror-themed trip through a TV screen before following it up with a deep exploration of the origin story of Rickon's friend Balth. Personally, I want to see the divide widen between Lumen yes-men like Natalie and Drummond, and the more nervous employees like Helena and Milchick. All I can say is that based on the trailer footage that is still left for the last 2 episodes, things are going to be intense. Bye now.